Hello, boys and girls. Are you ready to finish part 2 of our pumpkin orange project? What you're going to need for this part of the project is your orange paper. Now, your orange paper may not look exactly like my orange paper. If you used a little bit more red paint than I used, then your orange paper will be a darker color orange. If you used a little bit more yellow paint than I used, then your orange paper will be a lighter orange. If you use the same amount of red and yellow that I used, then your orange paper will be about the same as mine. So if you don't have your orange paper, if you haven't painted yet, if you haven't made your orange paper by painting with the yellow and red, then you need to back up and go to yesterday's video and watch the video that we already did and make your orange paper, and then you can do this video tomorrow once your paint dries. So this video is for people who have already finger painted their orange paper. So you have your orange paper already. The other things that you're going to need is you're going to need scissors, and you're going to need a pencil and a black crayon or a marker. I like to use a marker because it looks a little bit darker, but you can also use a black crayon if you want. Now, I also like to use a little bit of brown crayon for a little tiny little bit, and a little bit of green crayon. If you don't have to have those, but if you do have them, then they come in handy. So we're going to have our black paper here. I'm going to zoom out a tiny bit on the video. There we go. And we have our orange paper here, and we want to figure out where about the middle is. Now, I have mine going sideways. I don't have it tall like a building. I don't have the hot dog fold. I have the hamburger fold here. So I have it short. And I want to go about to the middle. And then I just want to come in about one little knuckle, and I'm going to put a dot. And then I'm going to come down about to the middle of the bottom of the page and come in, and then I'm just going to put a dot. So now you can see I have a dot and a dot. And I think you can see both of them in the video. Let me see. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the dot, and you're just going to draw a line that goes down to the dot on the bottom. And then you go back to the top and you draw a line that goes down to the dot on the bottom. Then you come back to the dot and you go around to the dot on the bottom, and then back to the dot, and you come around and you go out a little bit further each time to the dot on the bottom. Back to your top dot, around to your bottom dot. Back to your top dot, around to your bottom dot, and you just go out a little bit further each time. Top dot to bottom dot. Top dot to bottom dot. And you can decide when you feel like your pumpkin is big enough, you can stop. But I'm going to go top dot. I like to make mine as big as I possibly can. To bottom dot, and top dot to bottom dot. And I think I'm going to try to get one more in. Now my top dot, that's getting kind of tricky because it's kind of running out of space on my paper. And also my pencil's starting to need to be sharpened. And this is one of those big pencils, and I don't have a big pencil sharpener at home. And then one more after, just to make it even, to bottom dot. And that's about all I'm going to fit on my paper there. Okay, now, the next thing I'm going to do, if you are going to use your green crayon, you can just color this space up here that doesn't make it into the dots, and that's your stem. And I like to bring it down all the way to my dot like that. And then if you have your brown crayon, I just kind of do like a little bit of a squiggly thing there to make the blossom on the bottom. And now you can use your black crayon, or your black marker, and you're just going to trace the black lines that you made already. You're not making any new lines with your black crayon or your black marker. You're just tracing your pencil lines. And I'm just going to write over my pencil lines. And it's okay if yours doesn't look like mine, because all pumpkins look different. Even if you get two pumpkins that look pretty similar, if you look closely, you'll find that they're really different. Because all pumpkins are different because they're unique, just like people are unique. That's what makes people special, is that every single person is different. Even if there are things about them that are very similar to other people, like maybe everybody in your family has brown eyes or something like that. But there are things that are different about you. And each person is special because they're different and unique. Just like this pumpkin. This pumpkin is unique. And even if you try to make your pumpkin look exactly like my pumpkin, it won't. There will be something different about it. You know why? Because it will come from you. And you are unique, so your pumpkin can't look like my pumpkin because you're unique. Trying to not block your view when I'm drawing my black lines. So I'm trying not to get my arms in the way of your view. And now I'm done tracing my black lines, and I have my little blossom end there. Now, you can use a yellow crayon if you want to do this, and you don't absolutely have to do this, but I like to make sure I know which line I'm going to cut. I'm only going to cut the outside line, so sometimes right outside the line that I'm going to cut, I take a yellow crayon, but you could even use your green crayon if you want to, since you already had your green crayon out, because you're going to cut this off. You're not going to be able to see this once you cut. You just draw a line right around the outside, only the outside. That tells you what part you're going to cut. Because sometimes it can be tricky with all of these lines. If you get off onto the wrong line, you might end up cutting your some of the ribs. These are the pumpkin ribs that you see on the skin of the pumpkin. And so now I'm going to glue my hand down. Usually I glue my arm down to my side, but you can't see that. So I'm going to glue this hand, put my imaginary glue, and glue it to the table. Now this hand is only going to go chomp, 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 open, close, open, close, open, close. And this hand is going to do the turn the paper, turn the paper. And I'm going to follow the black line that is right next to the green. And it's going to be tricky to get it all into the video. But here we go. All right, here we go. Open, close, open, close. Now my other hand is doing the turn the paper. Open, close, turn my paper. See how my left hand is turning my paper? My scissor hand is only doing open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. My other hand, my not scissor hand, is pushing the paper and turning the paper. It's kind of tricky for me to see it on the video. There we go. Open, close, turn the paper. 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 Open. I gotta look at it with my eyes, not my. There we go. Not through my video. Turn the paper. Open, close, turn the paper. I'm gonna snip off that little piece. Sometimes when I get it really close, I just pull it like that and get all those extra papers out of the way. And I'm going to follow the green line. Open, close, turn my paper. See how my scissor hand, can you see my scissor hand? You see how it hasn't moved? It's still stuck to the table there. I'm not turning my arm like this to cut. And I got to put fresh glue on. Glue it down. It's staying stuck to the table. I'm not twisting my arm left and right to try to get it around the ribs of the pumpkin. I'm turning the paper to meet my scissors. See how my other hand is turning the paper? There we go. And open, close, turn the paper. Open, close, turn the paper. Open, close. Now I'm just going to kind of cut around my little blossom end there so it looks a little tiny bit spiky. There we go. Brush my paper out. And I went a little bit too far out. I can still see my green line right there, so I'm going to cut that. It was hard to see that part on the video, and I got to fold my stem back up. And now I'll put it down for you to see. And my orange pumpkin project is all done. And I will load up a picture of this and put it on Seesaw so you can see my pumpkin, when you make your pumpkin, that's just a little bit, there was a little bit of water on the table from where I wiped the table, so that'll dry up. But here's my finished pumpkin for my pumpkin project. You can see my pumpkin skin. You can see my pumpkin ribs. You can see my my little bottom blossom there, my end blossom, and you can see my stem. If you opened it up, you'd be able to see the pulp and the fibrous strands and the seeds. So much yumminess in a pumpkin. All right, I can't wait to see your pumpkin. Let me see how you did. I hope you had a good time making your pumpkin.